Black on black crime. All right, you've heard that before, right? I'm sure you've seen a Fox News host or a conservative pundit rant about it ad nauseum. It's one of their very favorite phrases, one of their favorite BS obsessions. Well, I just want to chat about something a little bit different today, and that is MAGA on MAGA crime. Recently, it has exploded on social media. Trump's disastrous tariff policies have split his cult in two. And I don't just mean the base. Even White House officials have been caught up in the Civil War, and it's getting really ugly.
There's been some public sparring between Elon Musk and the president's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, on some of these tariffs. Musk actually referred to Navarro today as being, quote, dumber than a sack of bricks. Are you at all, or is the administration, the president, all concerned that this is maybe impacting the public's understanding of these tariffs? It might be messing with the message on it?
No, look, these are obviously two individuals who have very different views on trade and on tariffs. Boys will be boys, and we will let their public sparring continue. And you guys should all be very grateful that we have the most transparent administration in history. And I think it also speaks to the president's willingness to hear from all sides, that he has people at the highest levels of this government in this White House who have very diverse opinions on very diverse issues, but the president takes all opinions in mind, and then he makes the best decision based on the best interests of the American public.
Boys will be boys? Sure, okay, Caroline. That's the best you can come up with? Trump's press secretary can try to spin this as some sort of playground beef all she wants, but anyone with eyes can see just how nasty this fight is getting. And it all started with Trump's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, saying this.
When it comes to tariffs and trade, we all understand in the White House, and the American people understand, that Elon's a car manufacturer. But he's not a car manufacturer. He's a car assembler in many cases. If you go to his Texas plant, a good part of the engines that he gets, which in the EV case is the batteries, come from Japan and come from China. The electronics come from Taiwan, the tires come. What we want, and the difference is in our thinking and Elon's on this, is that we want the tires made in Akron. We want the transmissions made in Indianapolis. We want the engines made in Flint and Saginaw, and we want the cars manufactured here. It's like this business model where BMW and Mercedes come in to Spartanburg, South Carolina, and have us assemble German engines and Austrian transmissions. That doesn't work for America. It's bad for our economics. It's bad for our national security. We want them to come here. And with Elon, it's fine. He's a car man. He's a car person. That's what he does. And he wants the cheap foreign parts, and we understand that. But we want him home. We want him home
Peter,
for our national security and economic security, and everything's good with Elon.
Elon's a car assembler? That phrase right there appears to be what set this whole thing off, apart from the tariffs themselves, of course. So Elon Musk can be described in many ways: a billionaire, a businessman, an innovator, an engineer, but not many people would dare dismiss him as a mere quote-unquote car assembler. Now, I can understand why that might have irked him, because when you couple it with what Trump and Navarro's tariffs are doing to his businesses, well, I mean, come on. So as you heard from Caroline Levitt, Musk responded by calling Navarro, quote, dumber than a sack of bricks. And then he went even further than that. Musk said describing Navarro in such a way was a mistake because it's an insult to bricks. And then he bestowed upon Navarro a new nickname, Peter, well, I can't actually say the second half, but it's a play on Navarro, but with the R word slipped in there. And the whole brouhaha has naturally gotten a lot of press attention. And as a result, folks are looking into Mr. Navarro with more zeal than they have in a long while. And what journalists are discovering is quite something.
In all of his books, Peter Navarro has cited an economics expert to justify his views. And the economics expert he cites is somebody named Ron Vera, V-A-R-A, Ron Vera. When Trump won the presidency and entered the White House, this Ron Vera started circulating a memo around Washington in support of Trump using tariffs in trade policy. According to the New York Times, the memo had been, quote, sent from an email address purportedly belonging to Ron Vera. At one point, Ron Vera wrote in the memo that Trump could, quote, ride the tariffs to victory. The problem is Ron Vera doesn't exist. He never has. The economics expert that Peter Navarro has long cited to explain why he's so gung-ho on tariffs, this person, Ron Vera, is a made-up person. He is a fictional person. Peter Navarro invented Ron Vera as his expert source so he could quote this expert source over and over and over again in his crackpot books. Who is Ron Vera? Ron Vera is an anagram of Navarro, which is his last name.
You cannot make this shit up. You literally can't make this shit up. Ron Vera? You gotta be kidding me. And yet, by all accounts, it's real. It seems Peter Navarro for years literally cited a fake person, an imaginary version of himself in all of his professional writing. He did that. This revelation, suffice it to say, it's not helping Navarro with the MAGA civil war. Take a listen. This is Donald Trump's former chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney.
Does Peter Navarro, who went to prison for the president, does he need to be fired?
I would have fired him a long time. I would have fired him when he got caught making up his academic sources for his papers with his Ron Vera imaginary friend. But, I mean, that was Donald Trump's call then. It's Donald Trump's call now. I think folks watching this show are caring more about what is the policy of the White House? What is the policy on tariffs? What does the future hold on this? And Peter Navarro is not a reliable source for information about that.
Now, you would think that it seems like Musk is winning this war. But in the Trump era, nothing is as it seems. If recent political reporting is to be believed, it's Musk, not Navarro, who is on his way out of the White House. Why? Who's to say? But if there's any one takeaway from this situation, it's that Donald Trump has no single policy belief more core to his very being than tariffs. He doesn't care if he sinks the global economy or tanks the stock market or hires as a top advisor a man who has imaginary friends. He just wants tariffs. And we shouldn't be surprised by this. Tariffs are perhaps the only issue that Trump has remained consistent on for some 4 decades. Don't believe me? Just watch this.
You took out a full-page ad in major U.S. newspapers last year criticizing U.S. foreign policy. What would you do differently, Donald?
I'd make our allies, forgetting about the enemies you can't talk to so easily, I'd make our allies pay their fair share. We're a debtor nation. Something's going to happen over the next number of years with this country because you can't keep going on losing $200 billion, and yet we let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade. If you ever go to Japan right now and try to sell something, forget about it, Oprah. Just forget about it. It's almost impossible. They don't have laws against it. They just make it impossible. They come over here, they sell their cars, their VCRs, they knock the hell out of our companies. And hey, I have tremendous respect for the Japanese people. I mean, you can respect somebody that's beating the hell out of you, but they are beating the hell out of this country. Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet they're not paying. We make it possible for them to sell their oil. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke.
Crazy, right? Who knew Trump could actually be steadfast in even one belief? So what do you think? Who is winning this MAGA civil war? Elon Musk or Peter Navarro? Now let me know in the comments. And tell me if you have ever witnessed another instance of MAGA on MAGA crime. I want to know. MAGA on MAGA crime. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.